from the products and services side in Toronto, looking forward to sharing our wares and what we've been working on in leveraging Alexa and Google. Strong partnerships with both companies to leverage Telco Product and Services. So with that, I'll jump in. I wanted to discuss myself. I'm focusing primarily on the enabling technologies. So what enables us to, and what are the foundational pillars that allow us to leverage Alexa and Google smart and voice capabilities. So with that in mind, I think much of what we've been able to accomplish is thanks to a robust, scalable, flexible, and forward-thinking API ecosystem. We have some smart folks on our side, on the side here, that have sort of foreseen the unforeseeable and built for the future. So we have an API ecosystem that I'll elaborate on a little bit on the next slide in terms of high-level architecture and some of the stakeholders. But ultimately, what it's enabled us to do is move forward on innovation by creating APIs that are reusable across the board. There's no way really to predict all the use cases, now or in the future. But building in a flexible Miesian manner really enables future use cases to come to market and bring forward a proof of concept, by drastically reducing the business, improving the business case rather. Further to that, an API ecosystem allows us to extend our services to where customers are. Whatever device, whatever endpoint, whatever use case, again, unforeseeable, however, a flexible and robust API ecosystem that's safe, deterministic, as well as easy to use by stakeholders, is something that has been a key pillar for enabling much of what you're about to see today. And lastly, governance. I think one of the key things we've learned is that you can have a really good set of tools. However, your stakeholders vary so widely, and the organizational mandates and kind of administrative processes need to accommodate for some sort of process that allows you to succeed and doesn't bog you down. And so what's key has been setting up a governance structure, not only for APIs, but also for applications that intend to use these APIs. For safety, security, data retention, reliability, as well as legal reasons. It's key that we found that we've stood up such a process. And then lastly, a customer-centric view. And that's a view to not only the end user or our traditional telco customers that might pay for mobility or wireline, i.e. TV services, but a customer-centric view in the sense that we have internal as well as external stakeholders. Internal teams that rely on our APIs, as well as external vendors and applications that help us realize use cases. Each of these subsets are a customer, and approaching them and striving for that white glove service really propagates the I want to say word of mouth awareness and buy-in for an API ecosystem. Again, you can have the best set of tools, but they need to be managed. The stakeholders need to be managed, and often because there's such a wide diversity of group of people using it, they may be both technical, i.e., can really dig down, and much of the audience can probably attest, get into the architecture of a solution, and non-technical, those that just have a problem. They're product managers, and they need help. They need help solutioning that problem through the use of APIs. So that's a little bit high level about the ecosystem and how it's structured. I did want to share a little bit about the overarching architecture of the different stakeholders and what our API gateway and our ecosystem offers. And then following that, I think Piyush is going to dive in and we'll cherry pick some of the examples and how APIs kind of fuel that in the back end. I know several partners, several demonstrations have brought forward those kind of solutions, and this is definitely an area that we've been able to benefit from. So on the far left-hand side, that really boils down to the stakeholder. Who is the intended person? Again, both internal, external. At the end of the day, it boils down to an application, a use case, and someone hitting the ground, coding something, or or end user. And then we have a layer of abstraction there is who's the Telus owner? Who is the person that's helping navigate, whether it's a vendor, external vendor, or internal user, who owns that application and use case? And then by extension, they have a partner, and that partner could be, again, a vendor that's working on behalf of that internal Telus owner, or it could be an internal development group that's leveraging that API. And then finally, there's the end user. Sometimes the end user might be a customer, and sometimes it might be just an internal stakeholder. Or a downstream service. Ultimately, the left-hand side there is used to portray the stakeholder, and that usually boils down to a person, fueled by the very top level, the application. In the middle there, that's where we have kind of the creative juice of our API gateway and what it offers us in terms of benefits. Security, sitting behind a comfortable, I shouldn't tempt fate and say comfortable, but sitting behind a firewall, really allows us to gatekeep external traffic from the internal Telus network. So from a security standpoint, it provides a critical service. Following that through multiple firewalls, again, folks that were from product, but architecture folks, who are a lot more seasoned than this, know what needs to be done to basically abstract all the complexity from the end application. And lastly, just to touch briefly, identity authentication and governance. This goes back to, depending on the use case and the scenario, the end user might be a customer, and for security purposes, in order to offer that customer the ability to use the application, we need to verify that they're aware of the information that's being given up and how it's being used. Akin to if you're installing an application, you get popped up with information on which portions of your device that application will have access to. That abstracts against iOS as well as Android. And finally, the right-hand side there, that's the core networking goodness, if you will. Lots goes into investing, and I think there's a case, with conversational interfaces to continue on that front. But that's really where the end consumption lies, if you will. That's where customers can provision services. That's where they can provision features, rather. That's where they can tap into services. That's where they can, as we'll demo, leverage the network. And then finally, that's where we can call upon billing and customer information APIs to surface, again, as the host and variety of use cases. What's enabled this from an API ecosystem perspective, if you will, is a foundational and forward-looking view. These are investments that you make today, and you don't have all the full suite of tangible use cases. But when conversational interfaces came along, that's a juicy, absolutely timely use case that can cherry pick off of these foundational infrastructure to, at a relatively low lift, deliver to market fairly quickly. So with that, I'll shift it over to my colleague Piyush, who's going to discuss conversational interfaces in the voice market. It's Piyush.
Good. Thanks, Omer. Hey guys, Piyush here again. Once again, thanks a lot for having us. So on the previous slide, what you saw was on the left-hand side, the customer experience piece. That's where I'll start. So what I'm going to cover in the next few slides is how, from customer experience lens, we develop the product and products, and how then it affects actually the APIs that we in the end develop, or kind of make sure the whole thread is connected from customer experience to technology standpoint from APIs. So next few slides I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the market ecosystem of conversational interfaces, and then how it really implies to Telus, what role Telus foresees to play in this ecosystem, and then we'll go through the demos, and then we can go into questions and answers. Okay, so from conversational interface standpoint, market is exponentially growing. Amazon Alexa kicked off the market in 2014, and where we see right now is 50% of the voice searches, 50% of searches on the mobile phones are expected to have over voice in next few years. This is huge on its own. In terms of the hardware devices in the homes. 66 million devices are expected to have in the US and Canada alone. What I also want to give you is, in the next slide, from ecosystem perspective, like from customer standpoint, if you're in the house, if you're in the kitchen, for example, in next year or so, all the devices, all the utility devices that you have in kitchen are going to get connected and voice enabled. So you would be able to talk to your washer, your refrigerator, oven, and so on, a coffee maker. If you move to a living room, your set-top box for TV, your Wi-Fi, your lamps, everything's going to get connected and voice enabled. Now, moving from a home ecosystem to vehicles, your automobiles, they will have Google Assistant, Siri, or Amazon Alexa. Moving from there to your offices, Amazon Alexa had, they came out with business protocol for their for Amazon Alexa, which is picking up. But the natural evolution of that is, hey, you would be able to book meeting rooms, take meeting notes, send meeting notes to the folks. So that's a natural evolution of voice ecosystem overall. And then again, it's not just limited on your right-hand side. It's not just limited to hardware devices, so to say, like voice-enabled devices. There are new plethora of devices coming in market which have screen on them. The next step of that is it's actually getting integrated into your wearables. Your watches have Google Assistants, they have Alexa coming in. Your earphones, headphones, they have these voice-enabled devices. Your TVs are themselves coming integrated with Google Assistant and Alexa now. So looking at the ecosystem overall, we firmly believe that, hey, this is where the market is going. Looking back 10 years, where app world was evolving, or 2 decades before how internet was evolving, this seems like this is where the world is moving in terms of complementing the customer experience with the voice. Okay, having said that, this is where the world is going. The important question is, hey, how do we want to play in this game? Telus is a quad play customer player here. We have services in internet, in TV, in mobility, in home phone. Plus, we also have another portfolio for health and wellness. Again, so looking from customer standpoint, think of a scenario you're sitting in a basement, watching a television. We in the back end know that, hey, this customer is watching a television. He has his optic TV on, it's working. Someone rings their doorbell. We in the back end know, okay, hang on, someone is at the door. Would we be able to stop or pause the optics TV screen, show a snippet from the doorbell camera, and let customer, without getting up from his couch, say, oh, I know this person, Alexa, unlock the door, open the door. Now, in this particular case, what I've done is...
I don't know that.
There goes my Alexa in the back end. In this particular case, what I've done is I have kind of stitched the experience of security. I've stitched the experience of Wi-Fi, which is in the home, and the optic TV. And this is where we believe the North Star of conversational interface really is. The seamless journey of customer moving from your one service or one product that you have in the home to multiple products in your home. And then, of course, there comes a question of, hey, from technology standpoint, so far we have been, like from last 7 to 8 years, the APIs that we have exposed are more billing account management APIs. But the moment we go into a different ecosystem altogether, where we want to open our systems to our OEMs, for example, Amazon and Google in this case, to manage security, to manage optic TV functionalities. This is something that we ourselves haven't done before. Right? So we are kind of venturing into the new world. We are opening up these APIs, which we haven't done until now. And until now, we always use our remote control with Bluetooth or IR, and that's how it works. It remains in a closed system. So that's one of the challenges we are seeing through. We're learning from them. And again, the most important part here is customer experience. Yeah. Okay. With that, what I want to do is actually jump on demo.
And before we do that, just want to make sure that everyone can hear us okay and see us okay. I know that's going to... Perfect.
Brilliant.
Great.
So what I want to do is go through demo first, and then I'll go through kind of learnings, what we have been from customer standpoint, from API implementation standpoint, the challenges and learnings that we are seeing so far. And then we can jump into our questions and answers. That's okay. Right. Cool. If we can switch, Ellen in the room, if we can switch to a other camera, which is actually facing Google Home and Alexa device. Just give us 2 seconds. We're just setting it up.
Just switching that camera right now. You should see it. Perfect.
Okay.
Do you see it there? There's a second camera. Perfect. All right.
Okay, brilliant. So I'll unmute it. And again, from customer experience standpoint, they just customers just log in once, link their account, and after that, they can just ask account-related questions, manage their account, just with simple voice commands, and that's how it works. Okay, so I'm going to do a demo right now with Alexa first, and then on my screen, I'll do demo with Google Assistant, which kind of replicates how it will do it on the phones. Alexa, open Telus.
Shane, back again. There must be something you need. How can I help you now?
How much data have I used?
Shoot. Can you say that again?
How much data have I used?
Just going to be a moment to get the usage detail. Shall we keep waiting?
Yes.
You have 10.9 gigabytes of data remaining until November 17, 2018. What else can I help you with?
What's my default account number? Alexa,
I see that your account number is 340674428. Call out another task and we'll get it done.
Alexa, stop.
2 tasks successfully completed. When you come here again, you should list add-ons. Don't leave it too long till you come back. Goodbye. If there's anything else, you know where to find me. So long, Shane.
All right, so what you saw there was the delay there, right? So I was talking about the customer experience piece. These are things that we want to fix. What I'll quickly do is I'll ask Omer to do one more demo on the Alexa and then move to a Google Assistant on the screen. That's how it replicates on the phone. So Omer, do you want to do the SMS piece?
Sure. Thanks, Piyush. So, and Piyush just touched on billing and customer information APIs. I want to demonstrate an example of a network API being leveraged. So I'm going to say, Alexa, open Telus.
Hello again, Shane. This looks like it could be the start of a beautiful friendship. Tell me what you want to do now.
Send a message to Omer.
What is your message?
It's great to be presenting today.
What is your current security PIN?
1234.
Send message. It's great to be presenting today to Omer, okay?
Yes.
I have sent your message, thanks. Great. That's one more task checked off. Can I help with anything
briefly
else?
showed here, but at the very bottom of the screen, I just received the text message, so near instantaneous, as you can see. From a security standpoint, you're all going to have to forgive the PIN, but I'm going to go ahead and mute the Alexa and shift it back to Piyush to demonstrate.
Can you say that again?
Ellen, could you actually go on the other screen now, the camera? Sorry about that. Okay, brilliant.
Thank you.
So what I'll do is I'll show you a demo of Google Assistant, how it looks like actually on the phone. Talk to Telus.
Okay, let's get the test version of Telus. Welcome back, Shane. I'm guessing I suggested something that got you thinking. So tell me what you want to do.
I've just got my statements. Can you tell me why my bill is so high?
The October bill has a total charge of $0. On November 12, 2018, this will be due. Would you like to look at this mobility services bill in detail? Otherwise, tell me if you'd like to examine another month.
Tell me for the month of August.
The August bill has a total charge of $0. Is this the one?
Yes.
After analyzing your bill, I note a charge of $25 for 1 gigabyte shareable data. You can manage your Telus add-ons through the self-serve portal online. Was this helpful?
No. So what I did was...
Which charge would you like to look at? Select one of these options: partial charges for $45, add-on charges for $25, or other charges for $190 credit.
Other charges.
The highest other charge was Inte CCT outstand zeroed for $190 credit. Would you like me to take you through another additional charge?
No, thank you.
Did this clarify the charges for you?
Yes, it did.
Glad I could help. Tell me now if there's something else you would like to do.
I'm traveling to Portugal next week. Do you know if my phone's gonna work there?
Easy Roam allows you to use your plan in Portugal for $12 for each day of use. Shall I add it to your plan, or would you like to hear more information?
Yes, give me more information.
Well, if you add Easy Roam before you travel, you avoid out-of-plan charges when you arrive. It also stays active for future trips, and you will only ever be charged for the days you use your phone while abroad. Also, the most you ever have to pay for Easy Roam within a billing cycle is $100. Will I go ahead and add it?
No, it's okay.
Shall I check if international roaming is set up for you?
Yes, please.
You have a few numbers on your account. Which would you like to set up? All of them, your primary number, or you can give me a specific number?
Primary number.
Which numbers on this account would you like to modify? All of them, your primary number, or you can give me a specific number?
Primary number.
Easy Roam was already set up for sub 2. Safe travels, and don't forget to enable data roaming on your phone. Best foot forward. What would you like to do next?
Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna stop this here. Right, so guys, what you saw was the real action out in the market. You saw some NLU, NLP issues there. You also saw the delay that it takes sometimes to, especially in the first couple of questions, it takes a little bit longer time. So things like that is in the real world, we're trying to kind of work towards the best experience there. So anyways, that's what the demo is. Quickly do want to touch upon the learnings. How about this? I'll start, and then if you want to kind of top up there, Omer. So learnings in the there are two ways to look at it, right? I mean, one is from customer experience standpoint. We live in the world where customer expects to get the information even before they ask about the information, right? If they say tune to CNN on TV, and then if it takes two seconds or 2.5 seconds, this has too much delay, And from technology standpoint, hey, it's a challenge because the command is actually going from hardware to a cloud, from the cloud to over the internet to our systems, and we're executing the command. So there is a technological challenge as well. But hey, we need to meet the customer experience there. So things like this is always challenging, and we need to work together with OEMs to get there where the customer expectations are. And sometimes you actually set the expectations, saying, hey, if you pick up your remote and search for Game of Thrones, it's going to take you 10 seconds typing that through with your, not the best UI, and taking your remote and typing that through. Compared to that, search for Game of Thrones is much quicker. So you need to set up the expectations with customers as well. On the other hand, the learnings that we have seen is around the certification process. I mean, OEMs are also learning as we go into this space. This is a new space for everyone around here. So all of them are learning with us. So certification process sometimes are more skewed towards customer experience. Sometimes they're more skewed towards the policies and stuff like that. So these are the learnings that we have seen so far in terms of technology OEMs. Other ones are how conversations really happen, right? So if customer is talking about billing, they say, you know what, the bill is high. I want to check about my data usage. So jumping from one tree to another, then once he has checked the data usage, we need to predict, is he coming back on the billing? And if he is, then we should be able to answer that questions right away. And then when customers go off tangent, for example, they are in the Telus skill or actions, if they're asking questions about Spotify, play the music, I should be very educated, in an educated way, should be able to answer questions like, hey, you know what? You're in Telus skill. We can't handle the music request, and you have to get out of this. So those are things along customer experience, conversations, and make sure that we navigate to the conversations trees quite smoothly. So this way I'm going to stop, Omer. I'll let you talk up there. Any learnings that you have seen from CX applying to your APIs that we develop?
Thanks, Piyush. And I know we're coming on time, so I guess just wanted to highlight the foundational investments, just to reinforce that. That is investing in APIs and core capabilities, having use cases that are reusable and leverageable across the organization, help realize these kinds of use cases, and planning ahead for that is a key learning of ours, but within justifiable business case reasons. At the end of the day, that's what there's opportunity cost to every investment, and so simplification of tools and access across the board. So I know we were a little bit over, Alan. Just wanted to say thank you once again for having us.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate your interest.
That came through really well. Demo came through clear. You were clear. It was a really good remote presentation. I'm just going to ask the audience if they have any questions. What I'm going to do is get them to ask, and then I'll come back here and mute me, so that we can hear you loud and clear, okay?
Oh, sounds good.
Any questions for the Telus guys and their demo? Paul.
How you doing, guys? Great presentation. I was just wondering, which APIs do you think will be most used in the conversational interface? Sorry, I should be specific. The telco APIs that would be most useful in the conversational context.
Did you hear that okay, guys?
Yes, I thought the question was which APIs are most used. Is it right in the conversations? Yeah, so what you've seen is the billing one is the one which customer are often paying most and the data usage. So billing and data usage were expected. What I'm going to share with you is the calling API. So we actually also support calling feature on our skills. And the call actually routes not from Wi-Fi, but from our network. And so is SMS. Both of these are actually quite popular. After data, billing, these two are the popular ones, to our surprise. But yeah, there we go, yeah.
Do you have any other questions from the audience? If not, again, let's thank the Telus guys for doing an excellent demo and presentation. Thanks so much again, guys.
Perfect.
Excellent job, guys. Well done.
Thanks, Alan. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Enjoy your day.